Hello there, and welcome to another exciting episode of Dead Reflections Podcast. This is episode 31, and we are your hosts,
Caleb.
My name is Colby.
And I'm your boy Josh, aka Drifter Voyages, and we have a special guest host.
Please introduce yourself, special guest host.
My name's Bradyn. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Bradyn, a real-life ghost hunter, on the show today.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you are. New episodes drop every Friday, and our goal here is to give someone at the table the chills, and if we're lucky, we might even send those spooks along to you.
Yeah, a little familiar with failure update before we get started. October 9th, West Texas Fear Fest, Rolling Sevens Ranch, Odessa, Texas. Sharing the outdoor stage with our boys in Brightburn with No Fear and Ethereal Flood. But there will be also 6 DJs, a haunted maze, Fear Factor activities, and tons of art vendors. Big thanks to Cosmic Productions and Sound Deep for putting the festival together.
Big thank.
October 13th, Never Rest EP release show at the Ballroom in Austin, Texas. With Never Rest, of course, Koningsor, Mothman Designs, and The Venice. October 14th, the following day, we'll be in Harker Heights at Game Day Sports Bar for IXI Fest with Astrixian, Everyone Dies in Utah, Rain, Beyond the Dead, and Psychopact. Shout out to ATX Metal Podcast, Fog Hog Vapors, and of course Astrixian for putting the festival together. We always have new shows in the works, as well as shows that are announced are always subject to change. Be sure to come out to one and catch a live set and pick up some merch. On the topic of merch, what y'all got on today?
Ramen Tatsu-Ya. The best ramen.
That was like the first time we went to, or I took you to Ramen.
Yeah.
Tatsu-Ya.
I was literally like starry-eyed. I was like,
Is that the Slurp and Destroy shirt?
yeah. I'll be slurping and destroying that.
Oh my god.
Fair enough, I set you up.
It's a good thing you're married.
You also got a hat on.
Oh, yeah, my own hat. I'm repping my own merch. Drifter Voyages. Go copy one. Go copy. What is it?
Jesus Christ.
What was it?
This is a piece of lint.
Oh, sorry.
Got it.
Caleb, what you wearing?
I am wearing a DJ Screw shirt. It
Ooh.
says June 27th, which is the famous EP by Slump Boys. Not the EP, the shirt.
Oh.
The EP is by Screw. But
Yeah, I was
it's
like,
a nice
what?
little, they were on Twitter, and it was a cool little shirt.
That's
cool
dope.
thing. They have a couple other big Houston artists that
Yeah, DJ
have their
Screw's
stuff.
like huge in Houston, right? That's where they're
He is
from.
Houston, yeah.
He is Houston.
He is Houston. Yeah.
I'm wearing Justice for the Damned. They're from Australia. They're sick. Go check them out.
And what you got on, bro? You
shit.
repping your own merch?
That's not a band.
I am repping FTS hoodie, which you can get
Nice.
on FTSParanormal.com.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah, we forgot to mention Bradyn here is FTS Paranormal.
Well, you also have some other peeps that do it with you, right?
I do. We have a group of 5 right now, looking into making it a group of 6 or 7.
Well, move down to Texas and you'll have 3 more.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Let's just start a new branch.
I tell you what, Texas is big enough for all of us.
Swear to God.
Swear to God.
You know, before we started, I was talking with Bradyn on some spooky locations in both parts of where we live, and there's definitely a lot of areas in both where he lives and where we live that have yet to be explored by us.
Us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've been explored by somebody.
I'm sure Bradyn has explored a lot of them. But yeah, no, he needs to get down here. To
Yeah, I
Texas,
will
see
say
all
that
the-
if you ever come down to Texas, come back to Texas. Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
They know where it's at. But if you ever come down to Texas, you'll have a place to stay. We'll feed you. We'll clothe you. We'll bathe you. I'll bathe you.
Oh, boy.
And yeah, you can come check out some of the haunts over here. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
We could have a combined episode, a meet and greet episode. It'd be great. Let's do it tomorrow.
And then we need to get up to Illinois.
Yeah. If we ever go on tour and we're in Illinois, we'll have a place to stay and he'll bathe us.
Oh my god.
Sure, I'm sure we could all fit in my tiny 1-bedroom apartment.
Dude, give us a place on the floor.
That'd be
We're
very
good.
kind of you.
Yeah, like, we can adapt.
As long as we don't have to buy a hotel room.
Yeah.
Or sleep in the van.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so this episode isn't going to be a normal episode because we have a special guest, and we wanted him to tell us some stories that he has from encounters and investigations.
Yeah, this episode is going to be all about stories from a real life Ghostbuster.
So this episode is going to be more akin to the one where we had Marcus, our first guest spot, and then we'll continue later on. So for people joining in for the first time, this is not the normal format, but it's a fun format for us. It's a nice little change of
I'm super
pace.
excited. I want dude, I really want to hear his stories.
Speaking of Ghostbusters, ectoplasm real or what's
Thoughts
going
on
on? What's going on
ectoplasm?
there?
You're going to break my heart if you say it's
Is
fake.
there something strange?
I don't think you understand how much I
Steve,
love
the
Ghostbusters.
There are a lot of different forms.
He said,
No, so we're just gonna say that it's real. Why not? We're just gonna say
All
that
right.
it's real.
Yeah,
All right.
So is it ghost?
It's real until proven otherwise.
Is it ghost
Yes.
spermies?
Right.
I've always wondered. Is it like a crime scene where, like, semen? If it's on the crime scene, you know that the crime happened. So, like, ectoplasm is ghost.
How do you know?
semen.
How do you
How
know?
are you going to work out of this one?
What?
How do you?
Where are you going with
If
this?
semen is on a crime scene, how do you know that's part of the crime?
I don't know. I just was making a joke from Superbad.
Well,
I'm
Are we
ready
gonna light
for-
the candle?
I think we are. I think we're ready. I will say, no weird vibes. Not at all. Like, not even in the slightest
well,
for
it's
me
also
today.
like still daylight
Oh,
here.
that's true. Okay.
Is it daylight in Illinois?
Most likely.
Yeah,
It is.
same time zone, I believe. Okay. Well, if you're ready to tell some of your stories and stuff like that, we're ready to
Yeah,
light the
we're-
candle.
We gotta open the.
Did you get a
Ouija board
candle?
too.
Did I get a candle? No, I was not informed to get a candle.
I
Do
thought I
need go
told you to
grab
get a
one?
candle.
Get a
It's all
candle.
my
Well, listen,
fucking
we'll
fault.
light two. We got two here. We'll light one for you.
He said, "Okay, I got some." Like,
I
in the
can go get
drawer.
one. That's not a problem.
We're lighting yours right now, and then we'll light ours.
Okay, that's fine.
And then we both need to open our Ouija boards at the same time.
How
as
do you
well.
do that?
We just
I don't remember how to do all
we
this.
just invite. Just move the planchette around a couple times, and invite them.
I think Josh should do it.
Yeah.
I think Josh should do it as well.
Like,
You gotta be real about it.
Wow.
You gotta be serious.
Yeah. Stop.
Does a
stop,
lavender
Stop playing around.
candle count? Wait, what? So like this?
Just
God damn it. Okay.
Got to keep it on the board.
Jesus Christ, dude, this
you
is very
good?
This is
frustrating.
really hard.
You can't see it on the camera, or you don't know if you're listening. But the planchette missed the board somehow, like 3 full
Okay,
times.
Josh has opened the portal per se. Any entity or spirit that wants to join us here at the table, you are free to do so.
Hi, spirits. How you do? It's me, your boy,
Skinny
Skinny
penis.
Penis.
Okay, I don't want to be able to say it. All right, I'm ready
Have
for
you
some
ever
spooks.
seen, ever watched BuzzFeed Unsolved?
Yes.
I feel like Josh has a very, like, you're like the Shane of the group. You're like the guy who will walk into a location
I'll
and be
take
like, hey
it.
there, demons, it's your boy. Like,
I'll take it. I'll take it. That is the best compliment I've gotten in a while. Thank you.
Except he's not a skeptic at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not skeptical like at all. I'm like, it just fucking
It's still there.
it happens. I don't know. It's a ghost hair. I don't know. Is it there? You want to get it for me?
No, you got it.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but my EMFs are going off.
Oh wow.
So
Nice.
I do have to say before we start that you have a TikTok, which by the way, if you have stream open, please put links down so that people will know where to go to like check out your stuff. But yeah, he's like in the TikTok, he's got his reader or whatever, and it's going off, and he plays music, like he's talking to the ghost, and he's like, "Do you want me to play music?" And then he plays the music, and it stops. Like it's fucking yeah, and then like, isn't there another one where you stop the music and it stops, and then you stop the music and it starts back up again? Like it's like no, like keep playing the music.
You
Like
can't give it away. He's about to tell us all about it, and then we can go check it out ourselves.
well, I just really
You're so
love that.
excited, I know. I'm ready to listen to
I'm
some
like
story.
a child. I just need to stop talking. I'm gonna spoil everything.
Well, since you started there, I'll go ahead and start with the spirit that I think resides in my house with me. I think that from a spirit box session that I did, I kept getting the name James. So I have given him the name James. He'll come around every so often. I have a belief that spirits tend to live everyday lives like we do.
Okay.
They're allowed to go where they want. They can do what they want. They're not stuck to one location. And so he goes and he does his own thing. But when I start playing Christmas music, he comes around because he knows that I'm playing it, and he'll hang out and he'll make the thing light up. I'm not sure this is James right now. We are having pretty bad storms right now, so that may be playing a factor into why my EMFs are going on.
Right.
So we all know that James the ghost is a huge Mariah Carey fan.
Anytime Mariah Carey starts defrosting, he gets very, very excited.
Oh man.
But yeah, there was one day where I'm a huge Christmas guy. Christmas has always been my favorite time of year. And so I tend to start listening to Christmas music fairly early because, as my mom likes to say, I'm a freak. So
Same.
I just got bored and I was cleaning my apartment one day and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to listen to Christmas music. So I turned it on and I was like, I have this equipment. I might as well. I've been feeling some weird things around my apartment. I might as well turn an EMF on. And sure enough, it starts going off. And it was this one right here. This one is a little bit different.
Okay, yeah, that's like the
this
OG
is the
EMF.
Yeah, this is the ghost meter. But it lights up and if it'll make noise again. It also makes noise. But I have it turned down for our sake.
Yeah.
Which there it goes again.
We need to get us one of those.
Yeah, I actually have the digital EMF with it has built-in temperature and
Oh, nice.
everything. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, anytime I play music, Christmas music, he'll come and he'll hang out. There was one day I was sitting on my couch and I pulled out the EMF detector and I just put it on the couch next to me. And I was like, James, if you're here, come sit down with me. Sure enough, less than like 10 seconds later, it starts going off. And I was like, James, do you want me to turn on music? It stops and then it starts up again. And I was like, okay, do you want me to play Christmas music? Stops and then starts up again. So we sit and we listen to Christmas music sometimes.
Dude, that's so fucking sick. I got goosebumps. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So you just like chill with this dude.
Oh yeah. He'll come and go. I think that I don't know exactly. I think he was from one of our first two investigations.
Okay.
I think he was either from Ashmore Estates or from St. Omar Cemetery, which we refer to it here as the Witch's Grave.
Oh.
Nice.
Which I have a story that's actually a pretty good segue. Our first ever investigation that we did, we streamed it live on Twitch, and we went out to St. Omar Cemetery. St. Omar was a village just north of Ashmore, Illinois, and there was a girl named Caroline who lived there, and she was put to death for accusations of being involved in witchcraft, things like that. She was there's rumors of her being burned alive,
Okay.
but I believe that she was hung.
Okay.
And I say that because during that first investigation, I was out there and I had sent my team members, Gentry and Autumn, back over to the car to like take a break, catch their breath, clear their head. And I did an EVP session over by the grave of Caroline. Caroline's grave is actually a crystal ball on top of a pyre.
What?
So,
that's awesome.
And while every other tombstone in that cemetery faces north and south, hers face east to west.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
Caroline said when she was being hung that she would come back on the anniversary of her death to curse the town.
Oh.
So on her tombstone, her death date says February 31st.
That's my birthday month. Why is it always my birthday
I was
month?
about to say it was your birthday.
Isn't
No,
that
it's not.
But it says February 31st so that she
There is
can't
a
ever
February
come
31st.
back
okay? I was about to say.
to curse the town. That date never will exist ever. So she can't ever come back. But back to the EVP session, I was doing this session over by the grave. Nothing was really happening. I was getting responses But they weren't really intelligent. They were just random words.
Yeah.
But I asked Caroline to show me how she died. As I said that, it felt, I don't know if you guys have ever like made physical contact with a spirit, but it'll affect you in different ways. For me, it feels like a million spiders.
It'll what?
As soon as you said physical contact, they both looked at me.
Yeah, because he like after our first episode, he got touched.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you get touched at?
Well, so allegedly.
On his butthole.
No,
Very, very childish mood today.
I'm not sure. Do you have stream up or not?
I do.
Okay, so as you can see behind me, there is a shelf filled with stuff, and it's just a free hanging shelf. And I was sitting in this exact spot, in this exact chair, and we were done with the recording the first episode of the podcast, and I leaned back, just like relaxing, about to like pack up my stuff, and I lean back and I feel what feels like I'm leaning on something, like a pole or like a support. For a second I thought there was a support holding up the shelf, and I was leaning back on that, and then I turned and I realized that there's no support, and I'm not leaning back on anything, and that's basically what it felt like. It in the middle of my back, between my shoulder blades, it felt like someone either pressed like a fist up against my back for like, I don't know, maybe half a second. And yeah, it's spooked me.
My man, like you can tell he's kind of tan. Like he was like pale, and he was just like, fuck, like.
Because I'm a pretty big skeptic. I've never had any personal experiences up until then. Of course, we start a podcast and invite things in here, and that's what happened. So,
I mean, when you invite things, they'll normally make themselves known to you.
And yeah, it definitely
creepy
did.
shit like that. Dude,
That's why when I was opening the board, or I was opening my board before we started, I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this, because this is my personal space.
Right.
But I just kind of said, screw it. It's whatever.
That's kind of
I have Sage. It'll be all right.
So that's a good little segue, because we opened up stuff here, invited things to come here, and this is Caleb's personal garage at his home, and he has his computer set up against the wall over there, and since we started the podcast and we opened up invitation on the first episode, he's had other weird noises and stuff occur.
What do you think about doors locking?
I was gonna ask him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Like that's just.
Doors locking?
Yeah, like we always have. Like we've had how many incidences now?
I think we're around 8.
We're around 8 incidences now.
Yeah.
Of like we'll be in here doing the podcast episode, and we'll go to like leave or go outside, and the door will be locked, but it never locks us out. It always locks us in.
It doesn't want you to leave.
That's what we've kind of come to the conclusion.
Us.
I don't know about that.
So I know like editing stuff. I'm a photographer, so I spend a lot of time in here editing. There was a point where I was streaming pretty consistently, and even during stream and stuff, I just hear things like around the room fall. It's a fairly large room, so things falling. Door locking happened sooner to us. Are we good? Yeah. Sooner to us, like starting the podcast. We've heard taps and things like that. We've had a decent amount of like just little things happen, and then of course we scare Josh. So I don't know if it thinks that we're taunting it by making things happen.
Oh, like it's like you take it as a joke. So it's like,
exactly.
You fucks. I'm gonna show you how it really is.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then the only there's no real big temperature shift or anything. There was one energy shift, and that was for Josh.
Yeah, and it was weird. That was episode 3.
It was early. I don't know.
Something like that,
Yeah, after like during an episode, I get like it felt like someone like blew air over my shoulder and onto my neck, and then I got like a wave of emotion. Like it was like I just started crying. I couldn't control it. Like I literally the tears just started coming out, and it was super weird. Like, and as quick as it showed up, it left, and then
Yeah.
that was it. It's strange. It made me feel uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a good. I'll finish this story and then I'll segue into another one that has to do with like that intense wave of emotions that you get. I was doing that EVP session at Caroline's grave, and I asked Caroline to show me how she died. What it felt like to me, and it's like this is the best way that I can describe it. And I know it's probably not going to do anything, but it felt like a million spiders were crawling up my back, and then onto my neck, like into the back of my hairline.
Oh, wow.
And then it just felt like something wrapped around my neck and pulled.
Oh.
It felt like I was being hung.
So it traveled from the back of your back up to your neck and then wrapped around your neck.
Yep.
That's
Wow.
I have a theory on that. What if it was like her feeling of life leaving reversed? Because if you think about it, it would start from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, right? Like blood flow stopping, all of those things. So she kind of like trickled that sensation up the back and then around, like, that's
No idea.
that's creepy.
I think my thought on all that is like we don't know the rules.
Yeah.
We don't know how any of this works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it could
We're
be.
just
Could
mere
not be, I have no
observers.
idea.
It's just a theory.
It is
but
what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy. Ugh.
And
Ah!
that same investigation, I was still kind of doing the EVP session, but I was wandering a little bit. And I said, somebody give me a sign that they're here. And the spirit box said face. And I was like, face? What does that mean? Like, as I'm saying, what does face mean? I see a face peer out from behind a tombstone that's like 5 feet away from the grave. I shine my light at it. I see it in my light. And then it vanishes back behind the tombstone. And so I run over there thinking that one of my teammates is playing a trick on me. And I radio over to Gentry and Autumn. I said, where are you guys? And they were like, we're still at the car.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fuck that.
This face was probably the scariest thing that I have ever seen. Not the scariest thing that's happened, but the scariest thing that I have seen.
Can you remember detail in the face?
It was very pale. It was like, I don't, because this is going to sound like how everybody describes it. But it was pale. It was like dead white. And it was like, features were sunken, but like the eyes were prominent.
Gotcha.
Like, you mean
was-
like the eyes stood out, or like...
The eyes
eye.
stood out for some reason. And maybe it was just the way that my flashlight hit it. And
Yeah.
like, I originally thought that maybe my mind was just playing a trick on me. I know what I saw. I know what happened. Like, the fact that Caroline showed me how she died, and
Yeah.
then less than 5 minutes later, I see a face peering out from behind a tombstone. That was it for me. That was our first investigation. I said, okay, we're
Oh,
leaving.
wow.
We're gone. Like, thanks for tuning in, everybody,
That's a-
but we're leaving.
That's a heck
We
of
We're done
a,
for the
We
night.
bouncing.
it's a heck of a introduction to,
Yeah.
to the world of investigation.
That's,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, that's scary. All I can picture is the all white entity in mortuary assistant.
Oh god.
Oh.
I would literally die if I saw that in real life. Ugh.
So I know that this was the first trip that y'all had. How did you initially get into doing this as a profession now? Is that
Yeah.
right?
So I've always been very, very into the paranormal. Anytime we would go on like family vacations, I would beg my family to go on like ghost tours, things like that. The Crescent Hotel that I mentioned earlier before we started stream, we went on a ghost tour of that.
That's in Arkansas, you said, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And that's rated number 4, I think, on the like top 10 most haunted hotels in the entire United States. But we did that tour. We've done tours in Wisconsin, Chicago, all around the Midwest, like everywhere that we've gone. Like we went on a ghost tour down in New Orleans. I've always been very, very into it. I watched Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters,
Hell yeah, I love those shows.
everything growing up as a kid. Like I made my mom get me a TV with a cable box in my room so that I could watch Ghost Adventures like religiously.
That's awesome. My story is from Ghost Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
My not story, but my little instant.
Oh,
that I'm
okay.
telling
I was
today.
like, wait, what? Dude, that's man. So
I'm sorry.
continuing with the profession side of things, like, so this is your job, like,
It is.
how does that? Where do I sign up?
Uh,
I want to
It's-
work, like, make money doing ghost hunting stuff.
I'm
That's
going to take a
amazing.
wild
Well-
guess before he answers and say it's kind of being like a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to jump head first into that.
it's more fun than it is business right now.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have a lot of family members, a lot of friends who are very, very supportive,
Hell yeah.
and so they're kind of allowing me to do this full time, to do the research full time, to do the video editing, to do everything that this entails, to look up locations that we can go to.
Right.
But basically, there was one day back in May where I was like, I don't want to work a full time job anymore. I want to try to continue, because I've tried content creation before.
Yeah.
With streaming and gaming isn't my thing. I'm a really big sports games guy. I love to play sports games, but like I'll play one game and then I'll take like 25 minutes and then I'll be done for the night. And I'm like, there's no content to be had doing that. There's no anything like that. And I was like, if I can do something I love while trying to be a content creator and then trying to make this a business, like that's the best of both worlds.
Hell yeah.
That's the best you can do.
Dude,
Um,
that's awesome, and it's very inspiring, especially, you know, coming from fellow content creators and then us with like music and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta bite that bullet and fucking just go for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, props to you for, you know, taking that terrifying plunge and being like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking do it. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Like our band has been going almost 5 years now,
Yeah.
and like year 2, I was like on the fence of like, is this really worth doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we stuck with it, and we're
We're at
we're
5
seeing-
years, we're starting to hit like
Yeah.
the next step in like our like music career, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, that's
uh,
great.
I'm realizing quickly that Bradyn and I are very alike.
Yeah. The more I hear him talk, the more I'm like, oh, it's just another COVID.
Trying out content creation and then
Yeah.
and then going into paranormal shit.
And it's cool because like you know, you streaming it on Twitch and stuff. You're like dipping your toes in like a part of that field that nobody has done. Like you're
Yeah.
like a goddamn like explorer right
It's
now.
kind of a word. I mean, that's why
Same
I
thing
think
with
it
us,
clicks
yeah.
for us, because we did the same thing. That was one of the thought babies whenever we had the podcast. Is like, okay, well, should we do the streaming side of it? Like,
Yeah.
does anybody care about that?
Yeah.
And that's like our niche. You
Yeah.
know, that's the
Exactly.
who we're working for, and
Yeah.
we all are gamers at some capacity. So Twitch is the platform, and you know,
Yeah.
it just
Exactly.
works out.
So moving on from that, what is this other story you were talking about?
So the one about like the rush of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I call it the Bermuda Triangle of Coles County. We have St. Omar Cemetery, which I just told you guys the story from that place. We have Ashmore Estates, which a story from that's coming later. But the other place is a place called Airtight Bridge.
Ooh.
Ooh, airtight bridge. That sounds terrifying.
It is. For lack of better words, it is. The story behind Airtight Bridge is there was a couple one day that got into a very, very big argument, and the boyfriend just decided that he was done. But he didn't have a way to break out of the relationship.
Uh-huh.
And so he just flat out killed his girlfriend.
What the fuck?
You're gonna find Illinois is a little bit of a messed up place.
I was sitting here thinking, like, man, maybe we should move to Illinois. Now I'm like, maybe
Okay,
not.
that's just
feel like-
the
I feel like the
error
whole-
of humankind.
I feel like the whole Midwest is kind of like that, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Texas is terrible. Texas is
But
real bad.
I'm sure that he had his reasons for why he did it, but those reasons were never made known.
Yeah.
But what he did is he killed his girlfriend and he cut her up limb by limb
Oh, okay.
and stuck her body in airtight bags, like Ziploc airtight bags, and threw her over the side of Airtight Bridge. When you go out there, especially during the nighttime, what I've found is if you've been out there before, it starts off very, very quiet. Like almost to the point where you know that something is wrong.
Oh, like the atmosphere almost like all the bugs, all the animals are like.
There's no bug noise, nothing.
Oh.
But the minute like you step onto the bridge and it stops.
Wow.
But you step off of the bridge onto the roadway leading down to it, and everything starts up again.
Ooh, that reminds me of our stairs
Right,
episode.
yeah.
Ooh.
That's a big thing in anything paranormal is audio, or
Yeah.
audio.
It was
say
like audio
Lack of, maybe,
defamation
yeah.
or something like that.
Lack,
Yeah.
lack of sound.
Any kind of sensory thing.
Yeah.
You know, just either something gets hyper fixated or you lose all of it at once.
Yeah, yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, that's creepy.
We were out there doing. Sorry, my EMF started going off. It's fun. It's funny because I'll talk about these locations, and stuff will happen around my apartment. So I know that there's an entity that followed me from that location.
Like, oh, you're talking about where we met.
Exactly. I wanted to ask you about that, about the resident ghost that you had. How you said you think he followed you or whatever it is, followed you from location 1 or 2, and just like, do you accept that at that point? Like it's just so crazy to think that you could just tag along, just because you were at a place and you were welcoming things, and it's like, okay, you're home now. Like,
Yeah.
you're my house now.
It's weird because I have
creepy.
my team calls it like the pre-investigation and the post-investigation ritual. Where during the pre-investigation, I'll pray, I'll ask for protection, things like that. I won't like pray over my team and I won't force them to get involved. But like I'll pray and I'll like ask for protection over the entire team. And then when we go to leave a place, I'll make an announcement to the entire location. And I will say, you are not allowed to follow us. You are not allowed to come with us. You are staying here. We are leaving.
Oh wow.
But I think that night that I had forgotten to say you're not allowed to follow
I was
us
gonna
home.
say- I was gonna say, is
James
that a-
was like, bitch, I will go where I want.
James didn't follow the rules. But yeah.
But we were out there a few nights ago doing an investigation, and we had tried a few other cemeteries before going out to Airtight. Airtight's one of our regular locations.
Yeah.
We'll go out there multiple times a week.
Oh shit. Okay.
But because it's like 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't we go out there? When you have all these places at your disposal, like we're gonna use them as best as we can.
Right.
But we got most of the team together. I think we were missing one person that night, but we had gone out there, and it started off as it does, very quiet. But like, if you're new to the location and you've never been out there, like, say it's your like second time going out there, you'll get a headache. Every single person that I have brought out there, whether it's like somebody new in my group, somebody new that's just a friend that wants to go experience Airtight with a investigation team, like they all say that they get a headache at the front of their head.
Yeah.
That's a weird place for a headache as well.
Yeah.
Bro, whoever is with you right now is freaking out. Like your shit's going off like crazy. Like as soon as you said headache in front of the head, it started blinking. Oh motherfucker! I don't like that.
We also had
Hold on,
a little
hold on.
tap.
Let's see if we can't do something right quick. I'm gonna put my headphones on backwards. I'm gonna look stupid.
It's okay.
If you can hear my voice, back away from the device.
So he has an EMF reader that's going off, and he's trying to see if the ghost is going to listen to him.
James, if you're here, back away from the device.
Oh.
Might not be James.
Might not be.
My name's
That
not
or
James.
he's just interested in the whole podcast thing.
Right?
He's
It's
kinda-
like, I'm getting my 15
He's
seconds of
definitely
fame.
gonna follow you guys on Spotify.
Oh, okay. Thanks,
I
James.
know
I'll
you're
take
gonna
every
say follow
single one.
us, like follow us.
Let's see if this will work. If you can hear my voice, back away from the device in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm kind of glad that didn't work.
Gotcha. Yeah, he doesn't care. So do you do ultimatums? Is that a common thing?
Normally I'll ask him to back away at the count of 5. See if that'll work. But if it doesn't, I'll just let it be. Obviously, he
Doesn't want to listen.
doesn't want to listen. He just wants to be involved and stay here, and that's fine as long as it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt my family or my friends. That's fine.
Also, I have been watching the actual ghost meter has been going off a lot more than the other EMF.
And that's kind of what we found. So the ghost meter's a little bit more sensitive
Okay,
to the
maybe has a wider range of what it picks up.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. This one's definitely it's spiking. It's at 2.
Okay,
But
that's crazy that you have just a constant stream of magnetic energy.
Ooh,
in
that's creepy, dude. Oh, man, that's so creepy.
if I bring it over here, then it stops.
So they're just chilling over there on the Ouija
Yeah.
board. Look, he literally put it back. He literally took it away. It stopped. He puts it back on the Ouija board.
It's almost like maybe
insane.
maybe it's going off because you opened it as a portal.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not an actual entity it's picking up. It's just picking up.
Maybe it's picking up the portal energy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I'm guessing, talking about airtight bridge, so the airtight part of the name is because he put her
Because of the
body
story.
parts in the vacuum sealed, like, bags or whatever.
It wasn't
Yeah.
called airtight before.
Oh, okay.
No, I actually don't know what the original name for the bridge was. I know
mean,
that there was one, but
just
that
the-
name has kind of been lost.
Just the headache thing alone could kind of you could kind of make an assumption there because you often get headaches with lack of oxygen.
What
Yeah.
if the headache is associated with the lady that got chopped up? Did he give her a blow to the head to take her out?
We don't know.
Yeah,
I think
he
it's a
said
very like general.
The-
there was
story.
never any like explanation as to what
The
he
guy who did it, they didn't find him until about 4 or 5 years ago when he confessed it, and then the next day he died
Oh wow.
because he was on his deathbed and he was like, I
Oh.
can't live with this guilt
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
Oh,
The murder at Airtight Bridge, I'm the one who did it, and the next day he died.
That's
Wow.
insane.
It's like he knew.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
he knew.
But we were out at Airtight, and there was one day we were doing an Estes method out there on the bridge. So how the bridge is kind of set up is you come down a hill and you go across the bridge,
It stopped.
and then over to the left side of the bridge after you get across, coming from Ashmore, there's like a little picnic area, a little camping spot, things like that, and then the road continues and goes back towards Charleston. And I had all of my friends except for one friend. His name's Sheldon, I think. And I haven't talked to him since this happened. He got too freaked out by what the Estes method said, but he wanted to try it. And I was like, "Do you want to go under?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, I'll go under for the Estes method." And he was asking questions. We were getting intelligent responses. He asked if the entities had a problem with anybody being at the bridge. And I said my name.
Oh,
Bradyn.
shit.
And he goes, okay, why do you have a problem with Bradyn? Didn't get an answer. And he goes, what do you want to do to Bradyn? And this is where I start to get chills. It goes, what do you want to do to Bradyn? And he goes, and I say, rip him apart.
Oh wow.
Which when you think of what happened at Airtight Bridge, how he cut her up, ripped her apart limb by limb, it kind of makes sense. That place is also kind of known for rituals. Like there was a time back in the day, like right after the murder happened, where satanic cults would go out there and do rituals, things like that. There's actually a pentagram on the underside of the bridge, still from when they used to do rituals out there.
Dang, so that could be just a 24/7 portal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's also similar to like Goatman Bridge kind of thing, like the whole
Yeah.
the idea of it being used as a portal, like
Right.
once that tragic event happened.
Well, it's like what we
Yeah.
talked about with on the bridge episode, where it's like it's a symbol of going from one place to another. So it's like it's just like a doorway. So it becomes its own doorway anyway. And then just adding bad energy and things like that, you're just feeding that portal, like and making it more stronger. Like,
But when we were that Estes method was a couple of weeks ago. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. We went out there, I think about 3 days ago, and we had started our investigation. We were just kind of doing an EMF sweep to see what would happen. And I set the EMF down on the bridge, and it spiked instantly, and it wouldn't stop. And it wasn't the ghost meter; it was one of these that aren't as sensitive
Yeah.
to what's going on. Also, notice how
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
didn't stop now.
I didn't want to interrupt you earlier, but I noticed it stopped.
But we were out there, and I had my other one of my other investigators, Gentry, kind of take the lead on it. Because we're kind of in that point where like we're doing investigations, but we're trying to get warmed up for our next big investigation, which they're probably going to hate me for announcing, but I'll announce it at the end of the show. Where we're going next. We're actually not going to announce it publicly until September 1st. But why
Almost
not?
there.
But
hell yeah,
we
we
were
get the
out there.
scoop.
I had one of my other investigators, Gentry, take the lead on the investigation, and he was doing the dowsing rods. He was doing spirit box. He was doing everything. And I was the entire time, normally, like, I'm very, very involved in the investigations. I don't like to be not involved. I like to have somewhat of an eye over what's going on, just so I can protect myself, protect the team. And I can see if things are getting out of hand. This past investigation, I was just in the shadows. And they kept asking me, they were like, Brady, are you okay? And I guess that I completely blacked out. I did not respond to them all night.
Oh wow.
And there was a point in time where I was just filled with like this rage that we were out there. And I was like, we shouldn't be out here. And I actually started walking towards Gentry because he was invested. He was asking questions, he was investigating. And like, I think something had tried to take a hold of me that night.
Oh wow.
I had to go back to the car to kind of calm myself down, and I started like yelling. I had no idea that I was yelling, and I just kept yelling, "Get off me! Get off me! Get off me!" I had no idea what was going on in the moment. They recorded the entire thing. That's probably a video that I won't post.
Oh wow.
It makes you that uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's. I didn't know it was. That's the first time that I've ever felt something try to latch onto me and not want to let go. Like, I'm okay if like things want to like latch on for like an investigation and kind of like follow us around, talk to us the entire time. But whatever was trying to latch itself onto me, it like overcame my entire emotion, and all I saw was just red, and all I felt was pure anger. And I was like, we gotta go. There was a point in time, Gentry was mid spirit box session, and I walked over and I said, we have to go now. We have to leave. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I'm about to throw you over this frickin' bridge if we don't. Frickin' for lack of better words.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm about to throw you over this bridge. We shouldn't be out here. And, like, he was like, okay. That was all he needed for us to pack up and take off.
You're
And
like, yes, sir.
The entire drive home, I didn't say a word. I normally am not one to speed on back roads because of deer, things like that. It's a very heavily populated deer area out there. But I was going like 70 on these back roads, and I had no idea. Like, they kept telling me to slow down. I didn't listen. I couldn't hear them. All I could hear was what was inside my head saying, "Get out, get out, get out, get out." And
That's wild.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Oh yeah, I'm still kind of. We haven't done an investigation since then, and I'm still kind of getting to the point where I'm recovering from it.
Gotcha. So that'll lead me to just being curious. How long have y'all been in it under the current name that you're org or whatever, like business? I don't know exactly what it is at this moment.
Yeah. So we started the group back in May.
Okay.
And starting out, it was just Gentry and I. And then my coworker at the time, Autumn, wanted to jump in. And then I met 2 other people who were really into it, and so they jumped in. And now the 2 newest members, Tristan and Hunter, Hunter's girlfriend is actually going to be moving to Charleston in 11 days. And so she's going to be joining the group, and she's going to be here for the next big investigation, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Gotcha. So
yeah, we started back in May.
how many locations have y'all hit now?
How many what?
How many locations have y'all been able to properly investigate?
Properly?
Yeah. Rather than, I know there's probably like, I would imagine a few trips to the bridge have been a visit, like just going in, feeling the feeling, and then kind of bouncing.
Yeah. So we started at St. Omer, then we went to Ashmore Estates, then to Airtight, then to Whetstone Cemetery, and then to the House in the Fields.
Okay.
So five or 6. I'm sure there's one that I'm missing, but a lot of them are like repeat locations. Things like that. The only one that's not been a repeat location is Ashmore Estates, and that's because we can't get in there without paying $500.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
Is it like that you have to pay a fee to be able to investigate there, or what?
yeah, they do public and private investigations.
That's awesome.
But they do like overnight, they do daytime, they do everything, but it all costs something.
So the stories that you've told us, are those like your scariest stories, or do you have one that's like even like more?
See,
like,
the
is there
thing
one
for
that
me-
you don't want to talk about?
The
like,
thing for me is that the level of scariness in the sense of us like trying to, literally get each other goosebumps and stuff like that, it doesn't matter because what he's doing is if just one little thing is real.
No, exactly.
Like it doesn't matter. It could be the slightest thing. If one of the touches is for sure like a legit thing, then
Yeah, because all we do is tell stories.
Yeah. I think they're all terrifying, so I'm like, just give me more. I want more. That's what.
And I can't imagine.
probably hard to rank it,
What?
to rank the.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I guess that's that. I guess that was a bad way to put it, but yeah.
Just like what else has happened? That's a good way.
Yeah.
Just like tell me more.
So it was actually besides Airtight, it was our most recent investigation, which our YouTube video is coming out for on September 1st.
Everyone go follow him on YouTube.
But we called it the House in the Fields. It was Tristan's uncle's house, but it has since been abandoned for like over 15 years. There's still things in the house. There's still furniture. There's still clothes. Like, he just up and left.
Wow.
But we decided to go out there and investigate one night, and I have the video. I can send it to you guys if you guys want me to. But we were doing the Estes method. In the Estes method, I say this, we're going to find that the Estes method is one of my favorite methods to investigate with.
We've done it once, and I think it's my favorite too. Just it's very involved.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we did it here at the studio that we do it at, and we haven't ventured out into a location to do it yet, and so I think that's the next step. But yeah, I was actually going to mention earlier when you said the what is it ripped to pieces is what you heard.
Yeah.
Like that alone is terrifying to hear in an Estes method, because we know like it's scanning through these radio signals and
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's saying
Yeah,
ripped to
which-
pieces in
right,
a fucking radio?
exactly. Like that's
Well,
that's
we had the similar thing whenever you were sitting there with the table and Elvira was sitting there and you started asking questions and you had two things back to back, and I'm almost positive that it said crouched, a little bit of space behind you.
Yeah.
And that for me, I was like, I don't like that. The idea that something's like just sitting behind me, like crouched and like, or behind you, just regardless. And then I remember you turned around and looked.
Yeah.
And you missed Elvira the first time. That's the only reason I like it. Really sticks in my head.
I'm gonna see if this will send over Discord to you, Josh. It might not. It might be too big. But that way. Oh, it is going to. Oh no, it's not.
Probably gonna have
Fucking
nitro.
shit.
Yeah.
Is there like an email that I could send it to you real quick?
Yeah.
You can do it to a Dropbox if you have Dropbox. That works pretty good for us.
Yeah. Do you have Dropbox?
I do.
Send me a link real quick and we can get it set up. I guess over Discord. Yeah. We'll use this as a moment. Hi, chat.
Okay, yeah.
What's up?
Howdy, everyone.
I want to tell the story, and because this is one that I actually have like evidence for that I want you
Gotcha.
guys to see.
Yeah.
Do you want us to play it on stream?
You can if you want to.
Or we could pull up the video and everything, but if this is going to be part of like your YouTube video, I don't want to take away from the content.
No, that's okay. I've put it out multiple times
Okay.
Okay.
on different places. How do I send a link for Dropbox?
Just send basically just say share for whatever you're sending, and then send it in Discord.
yeah, you should be able to just copy the link to whatever you upload.
Oh, okay. So I have to share it to Dropbox first.
But yeah, dude, this is a good episode. I'm like so fucking wrapped in right now.
Hopefully, it doesn't
crazy.
feel too much like an interview for you. I do like the storytelling, but
I like a
that's
lot.
the.
We want to know.
Yeah, we just want to know so much.
Yeah, because like we would love to do this one day, like be able to go out and
Yeah. Soon enough.
Yeah, no, like I was saying earlier, how like you and I are pretty alike. Like I was considering pursuing that full time as well at a point, and I think
chat. How you enjoying the stream?
This podcast has been a good I guess medium to
Yeah, it's an alternate way of doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
because we want to branch out from telling stories here to going to locations and doing investigations, which we've done a little bit of, not like proper investigations, but like I told you with the Lubbock Hotel was kind of an investigation. We just got the tour of the place, and I videoed a little bit of it, and I actually had some creepy shit happen to me in the basement of that hotel.
Oh yeah, that shit was nuts.
Taking forever to upload the Dropbox. Should I just email it?
Yeah, you can just email it. Let me. What is our podcast email?
deadreflectionspod@gmail.
Actually, never mind. I can't even do that.
OMG Ronan keeps drinking the
Too good.
toilet water just like my Sims dog. Jesus Christ.
Or what if he shares it on Discord, like his screen?
Oh yeah, you could. We have a full screen for you on the stream if you want to just pull it up. Wait, can you do
It's
that?
gonna shift his.
Oh
camera.
yeah, no, don't do that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Wow.
I mean, you can send the link in Discord. You don't have to send the actual video. You can just It should be like 3 dots. Share.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's letting him upload it to Dropbox because free Dropbox only has like a cap of like
Okay, I thought it was
storage.
already in Dropbox. My bad.
But yeah, you can send it to
Might-
Dead
it
Reflections
might
Pod.
actually be on my TikTok. Let me see.
Yeah, either that or if it's on YouTube already, we can pull up the video if you want to.
Yeah.
Like, we can get a timestamp. However.
Yeah, we'll take a break in the actual podcast.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Podcast section.
Run away with us for the summer. Let's go upstate.
Oh wow!
Toilet water, dog kisses. So, pretty
But
good.
you were getting into another Estes method story,
Yeah,
I believe.
the way to do it. I'm gonna send it to you on the Facebook Messenger for Dead Reflections.
Okay.
Gotcha. Wolf Blazer, he said, I have a question. Do you guys do, or would you guys do a horror D&D one-shot or something like
Oh
that?
shit! Yeah,
Yeah.
We need a DM.
yeah.
though.
We need a DM. If anybody wants to DM over Discord,
Colby, I think you'd be a great dungeon master.
I'm terrible at creating stories. Caleb's better.
Okay, well, Caleb, write it, and then you do it. Unless you want to be the
I don't
DM.
care.
I've also never played
I'm for sure not.
D&D my entire life.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we would have to get some.
You're the only
dice.
person that's played it.
I never completed a campaign because they're like months long.
They are months long, they're very- I think it'd be fun, though. Just
I would be down. I mean, we've got the perfect table for it,
We really do.
and
this is the map.
Oh my god.
the fucking this tiny little. This
Yeah,
is
you got a
my
little
character.
peninsula. Yeah, have you
but-
never seen that where like people crumple up paper and they just toss it out and then they
Yeah.
throw out stuff?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
All right.
It's we even got the topographical. This is
There's
mountain
mountains
range,
and
and the giant
caverns.
statue like on Fallout New Vegas. The 2 giant statues about to shake hands at the NCR.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
That's him right there.
dude. Okay. All right. So I got it on Insta.
How does one get it?
Hold on. Let's see if
how
I
about
can
let's just watch it on your phone and we can put it in post.
put it in post. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, we were doing the Estes method, and we were getting very intelligent responses. I had the temperature meter turned on in the spirit box so that I could see, so that the team could see temperature fluctuations, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the spirit box says touch.
Oh
And
shit.
Gentry goes, "Can you touch Brady?" And I go, "Okay."
Oh
And then-
no.
Less than 10 seconds later, I get touched.
Oh wow.
Oh
On my
what?
right shoulder. It was like almost like something tried to push me off the box that I was sitting on.
Oh wow.
All right, we're gonna watch it right
You
now.
just said okay.
Ooh, your reaction's terrifying.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
was that an orb that flew by? Oh, your fucking terror is making me terrified. I don't like this.
It might have been like the reflection of his headlamp.
Oh,
But yeah, no,
sir.
oh, man.
Okay, so what was the exact feeling? Where was it and the weight of it?
So it was like right above,
Like your shoulder blade.
yeah. But it was just ice. I was wearing a flannel, and I was like, I wasn't sweating, but it was fairly warm in that house, but it was just ice. It was like somebody had taken ice and put it down my shirt.
Wow.
They're
And
running
it
that
just felt
finger.
like somebody had taken their like 2 of their fingers and was just trying to push me. Like it wasn't heavy.
And this was
Yeah.
this was
There.
recent.
Oh yeah, this was last week.
Wow. So in the middle of August,
Oh shit!
dude feels an icy hand push him.
How that reminds me of when you got touched, Colby. Was it cold at all or no?
No.
There was no temperature to it.
Nah.
Okay.
No, it was only pressure.
Oh, that's
that-
creepy, dude. Ah.
Like just imagine leaning back on a 2x4. That's what it
Yeah.
felt. That's what it felt like.
and then the 2x4 is not there.
Yeah.
And wait, where was that location at?
That was down south of a small town called Casey, Illinois. It's about 30-40 minutes south of my house.
You know, I've actually heard a lot of like Illinois, like Chicago, all that is so full of activity, like all the time.
Yeah.
Like, because that was also where the World's Fair was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the what's his name, the guy who was killing everybody, H.H. Holmes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was basically like he killed so many people in his like death house that had all the traps and everything. Like,
There was John Wayne Gacy too.
John Wayne Gacy. Yeah. Ooh, you guys should do his house. Ooh.
And then you got
Abby.
then you got Chris Bayless. He's a demon.
Yeah.
A buddy of ours.
Oh, yeah, it's a buddy of ours. He's in a band called Ghost Key.
Also, this candle is burned down faster than I think any candle we've had.
Right.
Yeah. I got a hair.
So can you see it? Oh yeah.
Yeah. This one was full. This one was more than halfway. Very weird. I don't know.
Hell yeah,
I don't
dude.
know.
All right. Well, I guess let's we're sitting at an hour.
Okay.
So you guys, do you have any other stories that you want to tell, or are you ready to wrap it up?
I got one more if you guys
Perfect.
got time.
Oh, yeah, we
do.
So, and this is the one from Ashmore Estates. This
I
is
was-
the one I was in
I was
chat earlier and I
wondering when
said
you
that
were
I
gonna
danced
talk
with a
about that.
ghost.
Uh-huh.
This is that story.
Hell yeah.
So, we were on a public investigation of Ashmore Estates. Little backstory of Ashmore Estates. It started its life as the Coles County poor farm, housing the mentally unwell, the people who society deemed that they were unfit to live everyday lives. They would house and work them on the poor farm. Over the years, it closed and opened as various different things, and eventually it closed. Its life as the poor farm ended, and it reopened as Ashmore Estates as a mental hospital. There was the worst of the worst patients were held up on the third floor. They used to do electroshock therapy at this location. Basically, all of the things that were normal for the time, like in the 1900s,
Yeah.
they did.
Bottom.
They covered the overflow from all the other state hospitals, and they still housed the mentally unwell. But eventually, after only 6 or 7 so years of operation, it closed due to being absolutely terrible. Floors rotting,
Oh my goodness.
Disrepair.
disrepair, moldy food being served to the people, things like that. But there were 7 people on the tour, or on the investigation total.
Mm-hmm.
And we had all decided that at midnight we were gonna all connect up on the third floor and do an Estes method session. And we had 2 people go down to the other end of the hallway. It was actually my team member Autumn, and then another girl who her and her husband had brought like 7 cases of equipment.
Oh wow.
So
Dang.
we felt very like amateurs, and we were just like
Yeah.
so we were just kind of following them around the entire time. But we were doing an Estes method, and the entire time we were asking questions like, what was your favorite food on the farm? And to that question we got the answer, didn't like the carrots. We got like intelligent responses the entire time. And there was a point in time where the REM pod that was on the nurse's station just to the left of the girl who was under during the Estes method, that's where the REM pod was. The music box was about halfway down the hallway in between the 2 groups, and then there were 3 cat balls placed like in even intervals along the hallway.
For people who don't know ghost hunting equipment, you want to explain those just briefly?
Yeah. So the REM pod, it detects touch, temperature, I believe, and And then I think there's one other light on there that I might be forgetting.
No, for sure. We have temperature, touch.
Yeah,
And
I think mine's just touch and temperature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the music box is motion detection. So basically, it's like a music box that turns, but it's all automated when there's motion captured from the motion detector that's inside.
Oh, that's just an extra creep factor. That's fucked.
does it play a
Oh
creepy
yeah,
song?
the song is
Oh.
absolutely terrifying.
That's funny.
But we were doing the Estes method, and the music box, the REM pod, and one of the cat balls light up all at the same time, and the girl who was under goes, "Look at it," referring to like the lights and
Yeah,
the music
yeah.
and everything heating up. And so we start talking about the lights and the music, and I chime in and I go, "Do you want to dance?" On command, yes.
Oh, shit.
Do you want somebody to come down there and dance with you? Yes. And so I take my EMF detector and I start walking down the hallway. And I'm like, okay, make the music box go off so I know where you are and I can dance with you. And on command, the music box goes off. It did not shut off for like 30 seconds that time. Like it just kept going and going. And then I get down to about 2 feet from where the music box is, so I know that I'm not setting it off. And I'm like, okay, light it up again. It lights up along with the REM pod. And then there are 2 stairwells in Ashmore Estates, one on either side of the building. Both have motion activated lights in them so that when you're investigating during the nighttime, they don't have to worry about light switches and you can just have motion detection lights for safety purposes. And both lights in the stairwells start flickering, like alternating.
Oh, like a beat?
Like not really like it wasn't like any like time like 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4 and like that, but it was like they were just alternating and then they would go together and then they would alternate.
That was like Marcus's story. He had a moment in his where they were just flickering off and on.
Yeah. That's creepy.
Our previous guest.
And so I go, okay, make everything light up again and we'll start dancing. On command, everything lights up. And then the girl who's under goes, wait, stop, they're recording. Nobody knew that my teammate Gentry had taken out his phone because he was standing at the back of the group and he was recording this entire thing go down.
Oh wow.
Nobody knew
What
that he was
the
recording.
fuck?
And so we all go, is somebody recording? And Gentry goes, I am. Like, and so Gentry goes, do you want me to stop recording? And she goes, no, it's okay. And then everything starts going again. And I'm like, okay, let's dance. And so I start doing this, doing like that little like
Like a waltz.
it wasn't a TikTok dance at the time, but it was like that little thing where like the people go like this or whatever. I don't know. But I start doing that. And she goes, ha ha ha, you're funny. Referring to how I'm dancing.
Wow.
And so I go, do you want to dance together? And she goes, absolutely. And so I go, okay, come here. And she goes, she said something, I forget what she said, but I go, where are you? And the music box lights up. And I want to say this. I had no idea where those other 2 cat balls were. Because the one that was going off earlier was the one that was closest to her. And we had no other lights in that hallway besides like a very, very dim red light so that we could see where she was. And then the lights of the equipment. And so I go down there with the EMF and I'm like, okay, where are you? And she goes, right here, just take my hand. As she says that, a cat ball lights up. I look down and say cat ball directly to my left. Like literally not even a foot away from me. I was not moving. My feet were not moving. There was a cat ball directly to my left. And she goes, right here, just take my hand. And as she says that cat ball lights up. The REM pod lights up. The stairs behind the group on the other end of the hallway start lighting up. The music box everything starts going. And that's how I like to say that I had a dance party with a ghost.
Wow.
Did you dance though? Or did you leave her
Oh
hanging?
yeah.
Oh,
like
okay.
I took out my hand and I started dancing like as
So,
As you
so
will.
just to recap for everyone watching, these are all answers coming from a sweeping radio spirit box, correct?
Even what's even more like, most people don't know this. I didn't know it, but she had her spirit box sweeping in reverse,
Okay.
so that there was no way that it could be any type of radio or
Right.
anything like that. She had it sweeping in reverse,
Yeah.
and she was getting these clear as day answers.
Yeah. So our spirit box can't do that. It doesn't have that ability.
Oh, okay.
But no, like ours is a more generic,
Yeah.
and most spirit boxes are the generic one. But yeah, no,
That's
going in reverse is is a foolproof way to definitly hear
You're
if
not
something
just
is
getting,
said.
the random responses. Like
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
That's
Exactly.
That's fucked. You want to dance in the pale moonlight?
There were other times during that night where we were doing Estes method, and I got scratched, and I had a team member start to get scratched, things like that. But yeah, that location is one of our favorite locations ever.
And so this video, you're gonna upload it. Is that the one that you haven't uploaded yet?
No, the video that we're uploading on September 1st, that's the house in the fields.
Yeah.
The house in the
investigation.
fields.
That
Is
that
there-
is
The one you just talked about is up already, correct? Or
No, it's
no.
we since that one was recorded on Snapchat, like we have
Oh,
it,
okay.
but it's not very
It's
good
not
Gotcha.
like
quality.
a
Okay.
production
Yeah.
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I would
But,
still upload it. That's
We're-
insane.
Yeah, that's a insane story.
Oh man,
Yeah.
dude.
It was a lot of fun.
You
It was
danced with a
different, that's
ghost.
for sure.
Yeah.
Dude.
It is. I think my favorite part was it knowing that there was a recording going on. So
Yeah.
that
They were
just,
floating around there like, hey, man.
yeah. I mean, that just goes like if that one can sense it, then most, if not all, the rest can, and that's why, like, if just anybody tries to do it, it's like, well,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Like, maybe
Yeah.
they're not as comfortable as that person.
They're
that wanted
shy.
To dance.
They're
Yeah,
camera shy.
that's exactly what it is.
And they know that they're, dude, that is, I got goosebumps so bad. Like, yeah, it's Caleb. I was
Yeah, you
literally
did. You
like,
got 'em pretty
bro. that was, what a great story. Dude, thank you so much for sharing your stuff.
Yeah, of course. Thanks
Seriously.
for having me.
Everyone needs to
course,
go
yeah.
follow FTS Paranormal, right? That's your handle on Twitch and on everything, right?
Yep. If you just search FTS_paranormal, you'll be able to find us on mostly everything. If you just search FTS Paranormal on YouTube, you'll be able to find us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it'll be plastered in the description.
Oh
of
yeah, we'll
the
definitely have
podcast
links
episode.
to everything. Dude, this was a great fucking episode.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to ask before we close out?
I think I do. I have a pretty big one, but if y'all have some like smaller questions, so I think mine's gonna be like the nice final question for him.
I mean, do
I'm-
you have
No,
anything?
nothing.
I am fucking freaked out. That's what's going on here with
Yeah,
me.
you're looking a little
I-
dodgy.
I have a skeptic ghost hunter question of
Okay.
of all the instruments and tools that you use. What do you say is the most like concrete way of evidence?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a real good question.
It's not really any equipment that I use.
Okay.
It's more so myself and what I feel and what I hear and what I see.
Gotcha.
That- Wow.
Because like yeah, we can use equipment all day long. We can use Estes method. We can get concrete evidence from that. But there's no feeling like having that rush of energy come over you when you've made physical or
Right.
mental or like some type of contact with the afterlife.
Yeah.
Like the chills that you get, like even talking about Ashmore. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my hair on my arm is
And
standing
yeah,
up
and
because
that's the perfect example too of like conveying to the whatever project you're working on is when you capture that on video or audio of that true reaction of it's a lot more convincing than saying EMF's going crazy or we got crazy spirit box answers. Like
Yeah.
it's more personal, and people
Yeah.
feel that a lot
And
more.
and that's a answer that you don't really hear a lot. Like most people will be like, well, I got video evidence or I got audio evidence or whatever.
Right.
And it's like it kind of like shows, it kind of like separates it into like a true thing, because it's like you're like, no, like your own body, your own personal feelings is like the sign of it. And yeah, Joe Blow that's watching the video might not feel that, but it's like, no, I know because I was there and
Yeah.
I felt that presence myself. And it's
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're all predisposed to like what we think of someone. So that I do like the way that you answered it, because we've done the Ouija board before, and then Colby has explained to us and showed us stuff about how like there is user error involved,
Yeah.
and then how other
yeah.
equipment, it's relational to just where you're sitting and what is around you and what environment you're in, and if the batteries are low, like there's all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. So for you to just bypass all that and then say, no, it's not really any of that, it's the feeling.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
pretty big deal. Yeah, I think
it makes
that's
it
a good
more
answer.
real in
Yeah.
a way. It's like,
Don't get me wrong. Like I love the equipment, and I love like researching about the equipment, things like that. But like, there's no way like good way to put it. There's
Yeah.
no like
Yeah.
the
You don't,
feeling
I
that
don't think you
get
have to
is
answer it.
something you can't explain.
Yeah.
for sure.
So, okay, the big question I would like want to leave you with is, so you've done all the stuff, like you've dropped any path that you would have had before to pursue this. You've done already a couple of investigations. You're subjecting yourself to dancing and all these other things and getting scratched and all these crazy adventures. And the big question is why? What are you looking to have happen? What's your thesis statement for FTS, and like what's the purpose for you to do this?
It's a good question.
I know it's a hard one.
I started the idea with FTS with one question, and that was, what happens after we die? Do I have my own opinion? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I have evidence that I can show you to back up my opinion? Absolutely. But there are still going to be skeptics that don't believe that video or don't believe that picture with a face that's in a that's just an example. I don't have a picture with a face in a mirror, but like there are going to be skeptics that don't believe. I want to work together with this field, with everybody that's involved in this field, to bring solid, concrete evidence, concrete proof that there is an afterlife. Granted, we're not going to know like whether there's different sides to the afterlife, things like that. But I want the question that I have known for years. And I really started like I've always known that ghosts are real. I've always known that since I was a little kid. I grew up in I don't want to say very haunted house, but it was haunted. You would feel things rush past you. You would feel eyes look at you. You feel things like that. But there was one time that like I kind of was like, okay, this is like ghosts are real. This is real. And I could see myself doing this full time. And it was the day before my grandpa's funeral. It was, I had just woken up. It was like 3:30 in the morning. And I was at my Uncle John's house in Wisconsin. And I had gotten up to go get a drink of water from the kitchen. And I had turned around and I was looking at the kitchen table. They had left cards out because they were playing cards. Like all the siblings were playing cards, telling stories, things like that. And I had looked around and they had left what is considered a winning hand in the game Sheep's Head, where my grandpa used to sit. And I looked at it, I looked at the cards, and I looked at the chair and I saw a black mass sitting in the chair. And I didn't see it happen because it was just black. But I felt my grandpa look at me, look back at the cards, and then I watched the black mass disappear.
Wow.
So I want to bring that type of evidence and that type of feeling that I got and that I get every single time that I go out an investigation to other people, and I want to bring that concrete evidence. I want to bring that concrete evidence forward that I know that we can get. I know that other people have got in the past, and I want it to be so concrete that there's no possible way you can dispute it.
Gotcha. I think you worded that very,
that was a
very
great
well.
answer.
That was great.
I know I threw you
Sorry
on the
for
spot
putting
there.
you
Good
on the
job.
spot, but that was
No, it's okay.
that was awesome, dude. Man, what a great fucking episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You shout out to FTS Paranormal.
definitely.
Yeah, everybody go give them a follow everywhere. They are doing amazing things, and I can't wait to see more content. Thank you, man, for so much. Thank you so much for thank you
We've
so
needed
much
that
for
episode
coming and
or stories.
hanging out on the podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Hey, thanks
This
for
has
having
been
me. This was
amazing.
awesome.
And
Dude,
I
hell yeah.
can't wait of the possibility of us getting to work together more in the future.
Yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
seriously.
Yes.
Like this is gonna be like we'll probably have you on here a few times. Yeah, like it's gonna be. Oh, dude, this was man. I'm just at a loss for words. This went great. That's it for episode 31 of Dead Reflections Podcast. We like to shout out our friends in Dark Hour Podcast, Honolulu Podcast, and FTS Paranormal. Bitter Instinct is going to be having a Rainbow Six community tournament on September 3rd and 4th.
This weekend.
This weekend.
This weekend, all right. Winning squad will win some sick Familiar with Failure merch. And yeah, you should go check all of them out.
Also, $100 that will, if you win the tournament, will go to a charity of your donation, plus more money being
Oh,
donated.
wow.
I think every day now. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
growing.
Okay, well, that's great news. That's cool that it's getting bigger and bigger. Hell yeah.
8 teams total right now.
But yeah, we encourage you all to go give them a listen and check them out.
Oh, my bad. I don't have it ready. Follow us at Dead Reflections Podcast on all social medias, or follow the link tree to find our socials. You can find Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the video version of this podcast on YouTube, as well as our newly made TikTok. Email us at deadreflectionspod@gmail.com to submit your stories. Let us know how we're doing.
And go follow FTS_paranormal.
Be sure to follow our band at Familiar with Failure, our band Familiar with Failure at FWFTS.
Our band. It's our band. Please leave a rating or review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It puts us in more horror podcast playlists and helps new people find our creepy stories. Thank you for all your continued support. And remember, tell your family, tell your friends, and tell the monsters under your bed to listen to Dead Reflections Podcast.